We've made use of the Playhouse space for our incubator through our live podcast, Life on the Margins, an Urban Native Experience. We have hosted live podcast recordings in this space every other month for the last year and a half.
This is my very first reading. This is my very first project at Cincinnati Playhouse. It's called Sliced.
We've done a couple of live studio recordings now. We did a play, which was an interactive fiction piece.
My residency is just starting, and so far I did a really awesome, great workshop of a one-woman show I wrote called Mary's Monster.
We've had a staged reading event in one of the bigger studio spaces downstairs. And then we're about to turn this gorgeous lobby into a runway show for everybody.
Literally, I wrote a play, and 11 days from when I started writing the play, we had an audience of like 100 people in here to watch and like on its feet beta test of that story, which was crazy helpful because it kind of jump-started the writing process, but it also kind of like kept the fuel kind of going on that. And then we also learned a lot that allowed us to then go back into the rehearsal room afterwards and continue working.
Participating has really allowed us the opportunity to elevate our podcast beyond just one-on-one conversations recorded in our community space, but to really engage an audience on topics that are really important to our community.
So typically we have a lot of overhead costs for venue fees, and obviously being here and having all of our events here this season, except for maybe one or two, has made it possible to save a lot more money or redistribute that money to pay artists more or pay for accessibility services.
I think the biggest thing that it's done is gotten us to production, which I think is always the goal as a theater artist.
So I hope, if anything, it's just made my work braver, that I can try some things out and I have the space and the time and the resources to fail.
The Arts and Culture Incubator has impacted my work by empowering me to create whatever I want and to not worry about anything, and to be with professionals and to seek feedback that's constructive and that will help me grow as an artist and as a human being.
And Playhouse has afforded me the chance to say, here are all of our resources, go to town and make your work better, make your work what you want it to be.